Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Juan Words podcast. I'm Juan Alanis.
My name is Angelica Cazares.
And earlier we were trying to get to this conversation and we just got long-winded and didn't get to the point.
So if you watched the first episode, this is the extended version.
Yeah. So this is the additional conversation, and like we started talking about graduation, and then we kind of veered off of that. But the reason I brought up graduation is because I was like, you know what? It's kind of like one of the, almost like a rite of passage too, like a
graduation.
Yeah, like getting older, like like having a kid old enough to graduate from school. Like it's like for us, it's kind of like a rite of passage, and it's like, and it makes you think about like, oh man, like this is like really like now you're like really like an older adult, mm-hmm. And it's like. What does it mean to get older? And so I wanted to talk about like just age in general, like not necessarily in any particular order.
What it is to age?
Yeah, I guess like how like aging, like how you deal with aging, like because I feel like you start getting older and you start hitting certain milestones in your life when you're like, oh man, like I'm no longer like they're not carding me anymore, or like I can't stay up as late as I used to.
Or you got this gray hair.
Yeah, I've got gray hair all over my hair, all over myself now, like
all over myself now. Oh my god, I swear I cringe every time you say some things, Juan. Oh shoot. I'm wiping off makeup. Hold on, give me a second. Did I wipe it off? Did I wipe the eyebrow off? No, I'm good. Am I good?
I think so.
Juan, oh my God. Wait, go ahead.
No, but like I've been thinking about like I think you and I have kind of loosely been starting talking about like some things related to aging that we really haven't been having the conversation about aging.
Wait, hold on. Talking about gray hair. When I've been looking at you for the last couple of days, Juan, I've been staring. My husband has this really bad habit that he doesn't like to groom a little bit, right? So like his hairs and stuff and his beard and he likes to look rough. Okay.
Not that I like to look rough. This is just the way that my hair grows. Like I would like for my hair to grow nice and neatly and like being a nice little like but no, that's not the way it grows. Like it grows like with like crazy hair sideways and
but for a while now, Juan, and I'm gonna say this on here. For a while now, I've been looking at this gray hair that's been growing out of your nose for a while.
Oh yeah.
And it has been bothering me so bad that I'm like, okay.
Are you going to pull it out on camera?
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
No, not here. No, not here. But I'm going to take tweezers to your nose when you're asleep.
Okay.
So anyway, for whatever reason, I felt the need to bring that up. I'm sorry for those who are like, that's so fucking gross. I'm sorry. Go ahead. So anyways,
why would that
aging
be
gracefully.
Gross? That's like hair grows everywhere. Like why would that be gross? It's a natural place for hair to grow.
A gray hair in your nose like that?
Yeah, like be glad it's not anywhere
I've
else.
never said that. No, I've never said that. I've never saw that. I've never seen like a gray hair in your nose.
Anywhere else. I'll say
Shut
that.
up. Don't be gross. Don't be ill.
No, but like
don't be ill.
No, but what I was saying is that you and I have been kind of talking about aging loosely, like not necessarily having the conversation about growing old. But then I think one of the conversations that we were having, it made me think about like aging gracefully. Like, and I was like, what does it mean to age gracefully? Like who says like that, one thing is aging gracefully and one thing isn't. And I was like, no, it just kind of made me like, take me down like the little rabbit hole, like in my head. And then on top of that, I was like, you know what? I'm going to like watch a few videos about it. And so I just started watching a few videos about it. But I think the conversation the way it started that between you and I, we were talking about like procedures that people get done. And not about anybody in specific. But we were just talking about procedures in general. Because, like, I don't know if you want to share or not any of the conversation that we've had. About
me?
Like what you like where we started, like because you.
Yeah, I don't mind procedures that like people get done as they age, or as what happened to my hair.
Copetito.
Te digo, oh my god, oh my god, oh
you
my
got like
god.
a little rooster copetito going on
there. So we have we hear about these procedures that some people get, along as when they start aging, two, when they want to do some cosmetic stuff, or whatever, age happens, and there's little things that you can do to fix some things to to age gracefully. For me, that's age gracefully. For me, it's sometimes it can be accepting. It can be accepting yourself in all its form, or you can just be like, oh, I'm just going to tweak this and age a little gracefully.
So for you, aging gracefully is like tweaking.
It can be. It can be. You can do both. You can accept for what it is, or you can just tweak it.
Yeah.
A tweak it means going into a doctor's office.
Yeah, and having a little nip and a little tuck. And
a little nip, a little tuck, a little insert.
A little like injection of stuff.
A little something, a little hair dye. Yeah. Something, you know what I mean? Or like I said, like when you... Like when I tell you all the time, like clean up, like eyebrows and stuff. You know what I mean? Like it can be all of that.
And so like things like that are like I think simple things that a lot of people do that are pretty popular. And like I don't know, like I don't know personally anybody that does them, or like maybe I do and I don't know about it, and I just don't know that they do. But like I like some procedures that that I'm aware of, like are like you can get injections done in your face.
And I said I'm gonna do it.
That you can like that are supposed to like fill up your face or something, or rejuvenate your face a little bit.
Well, there's Botox and then there's fillers.
No, Botox is supposed to like make your skin not move, right?
Botox is good. It's supposed to help with the wrinkles.
Oh yeah.
With the wrinkles. Fillers are supposed to plump up like your lip. You know, when you get older, you start losing like lip for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And so lip fillers, you know, or like you can get like injections to like create like those higher cheekbones that you used to have, because gravity starts to take place and things just start to move in a very south direction.
Well, that's what we started talking about, because I was like, Angelica, I don't feel like you need to take any of that. Like, I feel like you can just like...
Take any of it? What do you mean? I'm not going to take anything.
Or take it, or like put it on you. Like, you don't have to like... I feel like you don't need to get like any of those procedures done, because I was like, I think it's like fine to age gracefully, like to just...
But my age gracefully is different from yours.
Yeah, and to me, I was like, when I say age gracefully, I was like, you know, it's okay if you have gray hair. Like, it's okay if you like, you know, if you have a few wrinkles. Like, it's not like, you know, to me, it's not a bad thing. Like, it's just the natural it's not the natural progression of like the human body.
Inevitably, yes.
Yeah.
If I age and I continue to age, and I'm still on this earth, and I'm allowed to age into my 70s, into my 80s, if I'm allowed.
Yeah.
Yes. Even into my 60s. I know that, you know, with having the privilege to turn that age comes, you know, all these other things of losing elasticity in your skin. Things start to, in return, things start to droop, basically. Or your face shifts again. You know, I don't look the same as I used to when I was 20, or my early 30s.
Yeah,
I don't look the same. Like I look back at pictures. You've seen my So we were looking at my picture when I had graduated high school. And
I feel like you do look the same. I think you just look different, but you look the same.
I look the same, but I'm different.
No, you look the same, but you look a little. I mean, you look a little different, but you still look the same.
Duh, because I'm me. I know that. You've seen me.
I know, but you're like, I don't look like myself at all.
No, that's not what I said. I said I don't look like the person I used to look like. I don't remember myself like this when I used to look in the mirror. And I don't have quarrels with myself when I look in the mirror. Like, I don't look in the mirror and I'm like, the fuck is that staring back at me? Like, I don't have that problem. I'm in a phase right now, Juan, where I'm just like, if you listen to our last episode, things are just shifting for me a little bit. This year I turned 40. I haven't yet. This year I turned 40. And I don't
42.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I turned 42.
I'll take your word.
Yeah.
You see, we're that age where we're like, how old am I?
This episode of the Juan of Words podcast is brought to you by our friends at Comcast Houston, who we are very proud to be working with. And they recently awarded through their Comcast Rise investment fund in the community of Houston in the entrepreneur
At the price of how much?
They invested $1 million.
They sure did. To how many? To how many?
To 100 businesses. They each received $10,000. So
there's a lot that you can do with $10,000 in your business.
Yeah, and we are grateful for Comcast for their support of our small business and for the support of other small businesses. So enjoy the podcast, and thank you to our friends at Comcast.
Enjoy the rest of the episode. There's some things on my face that I feel like maybe I could help. That I could definitely help. You know what I mean? But I'm so afraid to touch my face. I'm so afraid to fuck it up. Not only fuck it up, but I'm happy with my face. But I do notice some things that they're little tweaks in my physical face that I can do that can help. So if I have the opportunity, and if the opportunity presents itself, whether it's monetarily where I've saved up, or we have that extension of that amount of money to like, I don't know, just whatever it is that I want to do. But there's other things that I'm taking care of on myself, like on my body.
Yeah, and I know, like I've said, like, oh, I don't think you need this and that, but like low key, I can kind of relate, because I do feel like also when I look in the mirror, I'm like, oh man, like I don't want to look old either. And I like, granted,
I don't mind looking old. I don't mind looking older.
I do want to like make a say here, like, okay, I know like some people that are probably older than us are probably like, man, these two like
just nacos, cabrones, talking about their fucking age, and
talking about they're old, and they're like, you know. So I know some of y'all like side eyeing us. So I apologize to you. Like I don't mean to say that. Like, but having said that, like I do feel like, you know, I also can see myself, and I'm like, yeah, I don't look like the way that I used to look, and you know, it was for me, it was like to the point where like on my driver's license, I just recently, like in the last couple of years, got a new picture taken and replaced it with. But I did that because I didn't have any choice anymore. Like they were not going to renew my license with my old picture anymore, and people were starting to tell me,
That's not you.
This is not you, because it was a picture from when I was like Edgar's age.
Yeah.
And so it was like it, even though it still did look like me a little bit, it was like, no, that's not you. Like, who's this? Like, who's this? Like, that's not you.
New picture. Who it is?
But you do start thinking about like, oh, you know, like I'm fortunate that I still have some hair on my head, you know, but I don't.
Did you just really say that?
But I don't have like as much as I used to.
Did you just talk shit to some people without talking shit?
No.
I'm fortunate enough that I still have some hair on my head.
I didn't mean that like in a bad way. I'm just saying like I'm fortunate that I still have like some hair in my head, and like, but I do have a lot of grays. But,
you do,
and I haven't like, but
it looks good on you.
But I haven't considered like dyeing my hair. I've never been one to be like, oh, I'm gonna go dye my hair or anything like that. But I do like think like, oh man, like, am I gonna can I age, when I say age gracefully, like, can I age gracefully? I guess to me,
here's what I'm saying. Okay, watch. Let me explain this to you.
But wait.
So when the pandemic.
Okay. But I was saying, like, I guess in a vain way, when I say that I want to age gracefully, is like I want to age gracefully where I don't start, where I still look, where I feel like I still look good, and I'm like, okay, well, I still like the way that I look.
Well, hold on. Here, let me give you this example. So when the pandemic started, you started to grow your hair out.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Do you go back and you look at those pictures and you think to yourself, that was a great idea?
I feel like that was like me holding on to trying to hold on to my youth.
Juan, you look like an estropajo. Like, it was not okay, and I kept trying to say,
oh my god, I think
Juan,
we're gonna have to share pictures of
the
comparison of how I look, because
you refused to cut your hair, and I was like, please, for the love of Jesus.
Well, the thing is, I don't think I really had a midlife crisis, so I'm like, maybe that low key was my midlife crisis, because I remember like my hair was growing, and when I was younger, I had really thick hair. So like my hair would grow in and it was thick.
When I met you, you had really thick black hair.
And had I grown my hair then, like I would have like had like very like nice long hair.
But here's the thing, Juan, you had very beautiful. You started growing gray at a young age.
Right, but like I didn't grow my hair at that young age, because I was like, oh no, I can't do that. It doesn't look professional. Like, so I made up excuses for myself of why I couldn't do it. So when we came into this pandemic, and I didn't work for anybody. I worked for myself. I didn't have to see anybody. I was at home. Like, I was in virtual meetings and this and that. I was like, oh, well, now's the perfect time to grow my hair. And then when I started growing it and it actually started growing, in my mind, I think I thought that I looked like I did, that it looked like what I did when I was in my teens and my 20s.
Oh my fucking God, dude. Those fucking pictures, man, were you
And I didn't realize that it didn't look, that's not the way it looked. It looked like I was a 40-year-old guy growing my hair. And it
You looked older.
And
there's nothing wrong with looking older.
The thing is, like, that my hair, like, even though I'm talking shit about it, like, my hair does grow out nice. It's soft. Like, it's soft. So people would always tell me, like, oh, you have nice, soft hair. And so I would take that, like, any little compliment I would get like that, I was like, oh, yeah, that's like more reason to back up my hair growth, to keep it long. But then it took one time that we went to an event in person and we took pictures. And I thought they were gonna look good and this and that. And when we came back, and I got the pictures and I looked at them, I was like, "Oh, okay, I need to go get a haircut." But it wasn't. It was my ego. I was like holding on to that. Like, no, I'm young enough to still be able to do this.
But that's what I'm telling you. But that's
I don't think that I'm too old to do it.
Okay, but that's what I'm telling you. You seen that as not aging gracefully. You seen that as this is a problem for me to have this long hair because it's not who I feel I'm representing. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, even though it was so simple as a haircut.
I think I could have also taken better care of my hair, and maybe it could have looked nicer.
Correct. But you chose to cut it off because that's easier maintenance for you.
Yeah, like, okay. I was like, and you know who I was thinking about, and I don't mean to, like, but I thought, like, I feel like his hair is longer and it's graceful.
Who's?
Conrado. And I like the way.
Or a friend.
Yeah. He's an older gentleman. He has longer hair.
He does.
And so when I thought to myself, I was like, oh, like, this is like, I would think about Conrado. And I was like, oh, like, my hair looks good like that. Like, and I, like, nada que ver. Like, when I look at the pictures now, I'm like, no way. Like,
I look at the pictures.
He would have looked at you and been like, what the hell's wrong with you?
Some of them are on our site. They're on the Juan Awards Facebook page. And I'm like, oh my God, dude. And there's nothing wrong with it, but there's something wrong with it.
Because the picture I put on there, I do like the way it looked in that picture. Okay. But the way it looked in other pictures, in those pictures where I was dressed up like with a nicer shirt and this and that, I was like, oh no, I look crazy. I look crazy. Like, there's
you look like you came out of left field.
I was like, no way around it. I look crazy.
You did. You look like you came out of left. So anyway, so what I'm saying is that is part of aging gracefully, is understanding what and what doesn't look good, what you can pull off and what you feel. Like, if you really thought that you had taken care of your hair better, used products or cleaned it up the way you felt fit for it to look better on your head, then then that's all in your right. You know what I'm saying?
But I was like, you know what? This is too much work. Having this much hair is a lot of work because you have to, like, I was like, you have to wash it consistently, and you have to, like, keep doing all kinds of other stuff to it. I'm like,
you end up buying a lot more products for it, and you need to take care of it, and there's a lot more maintenance to having longer hair.
So I was like, no, I don't want. I can't deal with it.
But that's part of aging gracefully. It's like, it's the same thing for me. It's like I'm comfortable with who I am today. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to take better care of myself. And that's just like, there's things that I can do that would help. I think there's exercises that I can help with my jaw to help, like, this lip thing that, like, I don't know what it is. Like, it won't stay up. Like, my cheeks are, like, sagging or something, and it's, like, pulling down. Like, what are you doing? Are you trying to do?
No, there's, like, some face exercises that you do like that.
Yeah, you can.
I remember my brother used to do that because when we had lost a lot of weight together, we had like loose skin. I still have mine. He doesn't have his because he would do those exercises. Like, he was constant, and everywhere we went, he was doing this. And I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm exercising my face," and his, like, face went down. But mine, like, you pull my skin, I still have loose skin because I was like, I'm not going to do that.
But for me, Juan, I just, there's things that you can do, right? But I think I'm past that repair of, like, if I was, because I'll tell you why. I'm past the repair of, even if I do exercises on my face, I don't think it's gonna bounce back. I think I'm not trying to have, like, surgery. Like, I'm not trying to, like, cut into my skin. If I did, like I think I consider my if I ever did, but I don't want to mess with my face. But if I ever did, I think I'd like maybe adjust my nose. That's the reason I would cut into my skin. But I don't. I'm so afraid. I'm happy with my face. There's just little adjustments that maybe I can make. You know, like, and one of them is just I have fuller cheeks, and I've always had fuller cheeks, which means that for me, when I was younger, I had the advantage that I had like high cheekbones, I like higher cheekbones, and the way my bone structure is beneath my my skin and muscle, they hit like right here. You know what I mean? But I don't know, like now my skin drags down a little bit. And so anyway, so the reason I say that is because also, I, at one point in my life, I was 220 pounds, which is big. And I've lost some of that weight. I lost quite a few of that weight. You okay there? I said I lost weight and Juan said, Anyway, I'm sorry. Did I just? So I'm noticing there's a lot more loose skin around me, and you see me trying to take care of my skin, and I've been doing this consistently for about 2 years, way before all of this happened. I mean, I own lots of oils. I own a lot of bio oil. I own a lot of like. I look up, like one of my things is taking care of like my body skin and my face. And so I'm constantly doing things to like adding or doing like little things at home that can help my face skin and can help my body skin. Getting, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like I'm definitely more conscious. Like I don't do stuff for my skin. Like I don't wear lotions and stuff like that. But the way I do it is like I'm more conscious about the things I put into my body. Like I'm more like, I like think about like, oh, like should I eat this? Should I not eat that? Should like, I should probably like, it'd be better if I do this. It'd be better if I do that. And So like, that's the way that I do it, because I just don't see myself like wearing. Even if I wanted to, I don't think I have the discipline to like have it like a routine where I put on lotions and stuff like that. Like
I do.
And I don't.
I have it down. I have it down. Like my hair, my body, my face.
Yeah.
Like I have it down, and it's not. I don't do it to like expose anybody. You know what I mean? To like, I don't. You know what I'm saying? So it's just for me.
It's a personal choice.
It's like a personal choice, correct?
Yeah.
And I do it for myself because I'm the person that has to look in the mirror and I see like not changes. I do obviously see changes, but I want to feel my best. I want to feel like at my best for myself. And so, regardless of however I come across, like in person to people, like physically to people. Regardless of outside of that.
As long as you're happy with the way that you look, it doesn't matter like what other people think, because people are always going to like have something to criticize about you. People are always going to be like, oh, he has a big nose. Oh, he's fat. Oh, he's this. Oh, he's that. Like, it's like people are always going to have something to say about you.
Being perfection is a moving target. Perfection. There is no perfect person. Out there, and
that's what they say. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, because like
it's all perspective. It's all perspective of what you interpret beauty to be, and how you take it on to be. And so, anyways, for me, it's just things like that. So I told you, and I was like, if I get down to a weight that I'm uncomfortable with loose skin, then I might go under the knife.
Yeah. And I mean, I've had the loose skin, and I like, it is like, it's not like, you don't like it. Like, it's not like, but because I didn't lose weight so rapidly, it was like, to me, it was manageable, because I was like, oh, you know what? It's there, but it doesn't bother me. Like,
well, the thing is also that, I'm not losing weight rapidly either. Yeah. It's not going anywhere.
Well, yeah, because when I lost weight, I was younger. Like, I was in my 20s. And like now in our 40s, like it's not gonna like. Yeah. It's not gonna like.
It's not gonna snatch back in on its own.
Snatch back on its own. It's gonna be like.
Shut up! What did you just do off camera?
No, but what was interesting in the videos that I started watching. there was like it was like a Harvard school or something, a medical school, and what they were talking, it was like scientists who were talking, and they were talking about like the future of like medicine, and they were like, people don't realize how close we are to the future actually being now. And they were saying, like, one of the things they said that was really interesting was that, they think that pretty soon we're going to have one, instead of having like a bunch of pills for different things, like we're just going to have one pill that's going to take care of everything for us. So like, say like I have diabetes and I have cholesterol and I have this and I have that. Like instead of taking like one medication for each of these in different like doses,
they can give you one medication.
They can give you one medication and that's it. And they say like doing that is also, it's going to be helpful to your body because it's going to allow you to like not put so much wear on your body by putting so many things into your body like that, like so many different medications. And so they were already trying it on rats. And so they were doing it on rats where like a rat that was like a lot older was just at the pace of other like younger rats. And there was some guy, like one of the scientists, he like tried out the medication or whatever he was doing. His treatment, he was doing it on his dad. And so his dad was like in his 70s, in his late 70s, and he was like climbing mountains and doing all kinds of stuff, like, going on zip lining and this and that. He was like traveling, hiking and everything. And people were like, and he said everywhere he went, people were like, oh, like, we've never seen anybody your age do this. And it was like because of that prescription or whatever treatment they were doing. But like, I guess one of the things they were saying, and the only reason I'm sharing this is because they said like for us that were born in the 21st century, that we might get to see the beginning of that revolution of like where people no longer are going to be like living only to like the ages that we live to now, but that people are going to be able to like live into their hundreds and like, be healthy until like
enough to live that old.
Yeah, and like to be healthy enough where they can like have a full life, where they're gonna be able to like move and like be mobile, and they're not the last piece of their life are they gonna like not be as mobile.
Oh, that's interesting.
And it's like, that's crazy. Like, can you imagine? Like I'm like, I don't know if I like. That's a long time to live. Like 100 years old, 100 something. Like,
you never know why you need to live the way as long as you need to live. Like, you never know when you're gonna. Like, what you're doing now is important, but you never know what your mind can produce to actually help society at whatever age.
Yeah.
So even if you do live to 80 and all of a sudden, you're capable of doing something to help a large population, live a better life.
Yeah.
Then, if the universe wants you to live that long, then that's the length of your life.
Well, to me, I don't know. I'm kind of like, it kind of makes me a little bit excited because I do feel like I have thought that before. Even before I did that, I was like, I feel like our generations are gonna live longer than like.
I've heard this I remember hearing this in grade school. I remember we were having a debate or we were having conversations. I remember in high school, they were talking about, your parents are living longer than your grandparents and you're going to live longer than your parent. And I was like, what does that mean? Obviously, right? Because we're not going to be on. They're like, no. In terms of like age wise. Yeah. They're like, your great grandparents probably lived until the age, like you were already considered old, like in your 50s. And they lived, I think, into their 60s or late 60s. And that's how old they got.
Yeah, because we were just talking about like people are having babies at 50s now, in their 50s now. Yeah. And it's like, before, like, that was not a thing. Like, it was like, if you were 40 and you were trying to have a baby, it was like, oh, you're too old to have a baby.
Yeah, it's still considered. Even now today, some people are like, that's old.
It's still difficult. Yeah. Like, to have a baby. It's not like it's easy. But, like, now it's not that uncommon to hear about people that are in their 50s that are having kids. And you're like, oh, okay. Like, like, that wouldn't have been the case before, like you said. But I don't know. To me, like, I've thought about like that. Like, maybe we will live to be older. And if you are able to live to be older and we're able to be like mobile, like imagine if we can take advantage of some of those medical advances that we can actually like be, not just live longer, but be able to do more while we're older.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like,
what more, how much more you can do to like advance like future generations to live better lives.
I got all the game, don't get fucked in your brain. I can do you worse than you ever did me first.
My name is Angelica Casares.
And I'm Juan Alanis.
So if you're out here and you've left us a rating, Juan, you just told me right now we had a rating, right?
Yeah, I was saying that I was saying that people have a lot of opinions about our podcast and our
I don't know if they have it. Like they're not talking about us. They don't have a lot of opinions, but they've left us a review.
No, I say that jokingly because we've gotten a few comments here and there. And,
okay. So we're encouraging people to come leave us a rating and a review.
So
you're
we're
right. You're right.
One thing about us is that we are pretty thick-skinned. At least I consider myself to be pretty thick-skinned.
You are.
So
don't be mean to me.
So we take everything. We take all the feedback that you give us, and we really appreciate it because we feel like this is a learning experience for us as we're kind of learning to do this more and more. And where we started a year ago is not where we are now, but who knows where we're going to be in a year from now if we're still doing this.
Yeah.
But
we're enjoying it.
We wanted to take a moment while you're listening to this podcast to just say thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to us, and to remind you to share this podcast and any other podcast that you might have enjoyed with your friends and family, and to let you know that we're on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, all that good places that you can go and listen to podcasts. But you can find all our links at juanofwords.com and on all our social media accounts.
Back up on my piece shit, I don't care if you don't like it. I'm really different, don't gotta show you I'm like that.
But yeah, like I think we've been talking a lot about the I guess the aesthetics of getting older. But I think also like with age, you also come a lot of other things that like you like we were saying earlier, like on the past episode, we were saying like you as a student in your 40s compared to you as a student in your 20s, like there were a lot of things that you were going to pick up on that just from like like your experience in life that you were like, oh, okay, you know what, like, and I feel like part of that is like you become a little bit more experienced, and hopefully you become a little bit wiser about the way you do things and the way you like you kind of like, I guess what you like and what you don't like. And like for us, I think we're even like more like selective, we're pickier about the things that we like, enjoy or don't enjoy. And I forgot what it was that we were doing this weekend. Oh, you know what? We went to a restaurant.
So I had never been to, now I can say I've been there. I had never been to Benihana.
Yeah, I had never been there either. And
you said you went before. You said you've been there before.
No, I've never been there before.
You've never been to Benihana before. Oh, I thought this was like your second time.
Oh, this is why I wanted to go.
Oh, okay. It was for sure my first time.
I had heard about it, and I was like, and I had heard like, oh, that they had good food and this and that.
I remember hearing about it like in my teens.
And I remember like, and I know that they prepare the food for you. So if you don't know like what Benihana is, they basically
everybody knows what Benihana is.
I don't know if they do or not, but like basically they prepare like it's like a cook comes and he prepares all the food like right there in front of you. Like what do they call that? It's like I don't know if that's like, is it hibachi style? Hibachi style. Hibachi style. So, so they come and they basically cook everything in front of you, and it's like everybody around like is like eating at the same time. Or sometimes it's people sometimes
they cook some food in front of you, but basically what they cook is rice, your meats, and some veggies. And the only veggie that I seen being cooked at every table was zucchini.
Yeah, and so we went there, and then when we were there, I like turned over and I looked at Angelica, and I was like, you can definitely tell this is not our like our style.
It's not our shtick. No, it's
like it was very different from what we're like. Not that what we're used to, but what we like.
Look, no, it's not even the things like we don't eat lobster.
No, I don't know.
We rarely eat steak. It just wasn't our style.
I think it's to me it was like that. It's like a place where like you could tell that a lot of people were.
It's a place like, you go to your friends to drink and eat.
Yeah, like you go with your friends to drink and eat. Like for younger couples, you go with your couple, like you go on a date or something like that.
Like a double date or something.
Yeah,
to enjoy like the spectacle of it.
Yeah, and so for us, like it was like I don't know. It was like then you said something about like I think the older that we get, the more prissy we get, or the more bougie we get, or something like that.
We do get very prissy when the more older we're getting. We're very.
Or we're like, oh, you know what? Like
we're very particular now.
That restaurant, like this other restaurant, you can get the same bang for your buck, and like
you can get a lot more for that. It was expensive. It was. I was like, excuse, how much? Oh God, I can't believe we spent that money there. But anyway, but like it's not our thing. I was to the point where they do this thing. They do this thing where they like and I've seen this on videos when people go to Benihana, and I was like, okay, whatever. They put like the onions in like a pyramid, and then they pour lighter fluid into it, or I don't know what it is.
Not cooking oil.
Cooking oil. I don't know what it is. And then they set it on fire, right? And it like comes, it's big old like thing, looks like a torch. And I was like, this is fucking hot. The heat from that fucking onion volcano is fucking hot.
See, me on the other hand, I was entertained while they were doing that. I was like, oh, okay. Like he's putting like he's layering it, and then he's like put the little oil in there, and he's like lit it up. And
I swear to God, I thought it was lighter fluid. I thought it was lighter fluid. I don't know what it was, but it was hot. I was like, oh no. I was like, why? I don't want to eat and be hot. Like this is too much. You're too much. This is too much. So maybe I just don't like hibachi style.
No, I think hibachi style is
we're hoping we're saying that right. Otherwise, we sound like complete idiots.
I mean, I think the style is good, like, and it was like entertaining, and it was good. But I think it just wasn't like our thing. So it was interesting. But what was funny is that like immediately as soon as we walked in, we knew, like, we were like, oh, okay, this is like when we were seated, we were like, oh no, this is not like
they sit you really close to your neighbor.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to rub legs up against my neighbor, and then you're gonna charge me $100 to make me hot and rub legs. Like you're making me rub knees to knees with my neighbor, and then you're gonna charge me $100 to watch somebody put lighter fluid into an onion.
Lighter fluid. It's not lighter fluid. It's a cooking oil.
I know. Look, it wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't my thing. No matter how much I enjoyed it. I was like, you know what? This is probably going to be the first and last time I come here. I'm just going to enjoy it. And so I ordered a drink.
Yeah, that's what I said to you earlier.
Yeah.
I was like, it was nice. I mean, but I don't know that I would come back again. Like, unless it was for a specific reason, like I wouldn't necessarily come back.
Unless our friends like said, hey, let's go here. Then I'd be like, totally. But it's not somewhere I would say, let's go.
Yeah. I was like, it's not like, it wouldn't be my first choice, but it is a cool little spot. And I was like, but I don't see myself coming back. But I think that also, like, you know, with age, like you kind of like, learn to like deal with those things that are like, oh, okay,
better,
like,
yeah.
You're like okay, well, let me make the most of it, like you said.
Yeah, you're like I'm already here. Like either I can enjoy it or not enjoy it, and it'd become a waste of my time. I don't want it to be a waste of my time. So yes, I'm gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, and you're just like, and I think like that's like those are some of the good things I feel like that you can actually like. I don't know if it's dealing with things better, but at least like being a little bit more patient about the way you do things, like being like, okay, well, you know what, like I can be upset and I can be mad that I don't like this place, or I don't like the service, or I can get an attitude with the waiter, this and that.
Oh, I've done it before, even like not at this age, but if it's like completely like I'm like, no, there's no way.
Not to say that you won't ever,
if I have to leave a tip and this is I will leave the tip, but you best believe I'm gonna complain.
Yeah,
you best believe I'm probably gonna make you work a little harder.
And even if it's not a restaurant, even if it's like an actual, like, even if it's another dilemma, like in your life or something like that, like where you can like almost like take, like you are a little bit slower in the way that you respond because you like think about things, and it makes me think about.
It's so funny that you say that, because I feel like we're so high maintenance, low maintenance. All at the same time. But so it's difficult to explain it. Like we're so low maintenance, but we're still very high. Like at our low maintenance, we're high maintenance. And that's the thing that I was telling you, is that I'm so prissy to the point where it's very low maintenance. Like it takes me little for it to be enjoyable, but I prefer it to be enjoyable. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how to explain it. Like I think at this age, I'm more, I think you're just aware of these things now.
Yeah. And it reminds me of like, you know, when I was younger and I would talk to older people, and they were always much more like sage about the way that they responded to things, that they were always like very much more like, you know, I would be freaking out about something. And like, you know, like I remember like when I was a teenager and I had like accrued a bunch of tickets. So I had like I think over like $1,000 in tickets, and I wasn't paying them. And I was just like, I had like a warrant out for my arrest and all kinds of stuff. And I was like, Jesus. And I was like, I was feeling overwhelmed, and I felt felt like I couldn't. I was just like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm
felt
just
like you were spiraling.
I'm just gonna let it go. I'm just gonna let them keep accumulating because I don't have the money to pay that. Like, and I was like, whatever.
Like, whatever.
And then I remember like that I talked to my mom about it, or she found out about it, and then she was very like, the way she dealt with it was very like, oh, okay, well, you know what, let's go to the court and I'll take care of it and blah blah blah. And it was like very like very like
It's a thing
even
you do.
keeled. And it was just like, okay, no, don't worry about it. We're gonna go take care of it. And, and I was like, but it's a lot of money. And like I was freaking out, like, like no. And I was like, I don't have that money to pay. Like, they can arrest me. I don't know what to do.
Take me in.
But I feel like the even keelness of it, and like feel like now, like not that I'm that even keeled all the time, but like I do see myself sometimes when I'm responding to a situation, or like even when Edgar gets upset, and then I'm like, well, you know what? Well,
you hear him, you're like, that is so unnecessary.
Yeah, or you're like, well, let's do this, or like, let's think about it, or like da 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 da. Like, like you start giving advice, and you're like, who the hell am I? Because I wouldn't have done like, before. It wasn't too long ago that things would have like pissed me off, or like freaked me out, or like stressed me out to the point where I couldn't have dealt with it.
Yeah.
And I think that has something to do with maybe aging gracefully too.
Yeah, that's definitely, mindset is definitely a big, like, aging gracefully.
Yeah.
Like, not caring, not giving a fuck, but giving a fuck enough to other matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's that. I'm perfectly fine. Okay, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just different. Now I'm not like if I don't agree with something, I don't need to talk shit about it. I just don't agree with it. And if somebody asks, then I'll say, or I don't have to get into like a back and forth with people about things. And if I do, I better know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, I guess you're sometimes you can be less concerned about like all the reasons why you should care. You're just like, you know what? Like, I think I'm good with where I'm at, and I don't care. I don't care that other people don't like it. Like, it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I think I'm good where I'm at, and I'm at peace. I'm at peace with what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, that was like the main thing that I like. I know this was kind of like a random like topic, but it just made me think about like, as we get older, and again, I'll say it, for us that are not really that old, and people that are like side-eyeing us and being like, y'all need to shut up. Like, I don't know what the hell y'all talking about.
I know. And for those who are maybe older than us and can tell us, like, are we in the right direction, or maybe do we switch? Again, do we go back to our teenage years where we were like, fuck everything and everybody?
What would be good? What would be great to hear is like from people who've been here. It's like, how do you get from here to, I don't know, 50, 60, 70, and and you get like, you do it better. Like, so that would be good to hear. Like, what were the stupid things that you were saying at 40, like us, that we're saying all this stuff right now on the show?
Yeah, our friends some of our listeners or friends are out there are probably like idiots.
Yeah, like, so all the stupid shit we're saying right now, like, what would be some sage advice that you could give us?
Give us some tempered advice. Don't completely come at us.
Yeah, like going from here to the next decade, and the next decade after that, and hopefully the next decade after that.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, I hope that you guys at least enjoyed the conversation and our little banter about like getting older and aging gracefully and this and that, But thank you for listening to us, and I do want to just mention our friends at Comcast real quick, and say thank you for them. They are continuing to be our sponsor, and as you know, they
continuing sponsors.
Yep, and they provide internet service and also do a lot of great work in the community to support businesses and individuals. So go look them up if you need their service. And then if you want to, go and leave us a rating or a review, right?
Yes.
Because it helps us.
Yes, it does. So if you want to, if you be so inclined to leave us a rating or review on Apple Podcasts, if you're listening to this on a podcast, a rating or review would actually get us closer to more listeners. And if you're listening or you're watching us on Facebook, leave us a thumb up. Leave us a comment. Let us know. Do you think the same that you were thinking back in your 20s, your teens, or what life lesson taught you that you can share here with us? And yeah. I think that's it.
And find us on all our links on our social accounts, and also at juanofwords.com.
And go check out my,
if
if not you, then who?
Podcast.
Yep.
Yep. So you should have new episodes coming soon. I've been pushing her to get them out.
I know. They're coming.
They're coming. All right.
And with that,
We'll see you next time.
bye.
Bye.